Hello, and welcome to another reflection during Holy Week, when we're thinking about the things that Jesus carried on his journey from Palm Sunday to the cross on Good Friday. And one of the things that he carries, and he carried, is our sorrow. And what a lot of sorrow there is to carry at the moment, with the world in the grip of a global pandemic. The sorrow of all of those who are fearful of illness and death, the sorrow of a world either in lockdown or about to go into lockdown or only just emerging from lockdown, the sorrow of health workers who work tirelessly, knowing that a large proportion of those in intensive care won't survive. The sorrow of governments trying to keep people safe. And he carries our sorrows as well. The sorrow of being shut within these four walls for most of the time. The sorrow and grief of the loss of our normal life and activities. The sorrow of a lack of routine. The sorrow of those who are supposed to be celebrating significant birthdays or events and can't get their families and friends together. The sorrow of those who have had or will have babies whilst in lockdown, whose parents, grandparents, friends can't pop round for a cuddle. The sorrow we feel that we're not even able to voice. That lack of our sense of identity because we were working. Perhaps the sorrow at the loss of a job or the loss of a routine. Or the sorrow we feel on behalf of others in our family who we know who have lost jobs or lost useful engagement. The sorrow of those who have suffered or will suffer grief and can't gather to grieve. Those sorrows that we can't even put into words, the difficulty of getting out of bed in the morning, of having nothing to look forward to, and the long evenings that stretch before us with only the television for company. But God knows all of this when Jesus carried our sorrows on the cross. And later when he died for us and rose again, he left his Holy Spirit. Now that the Bible tells us that the Spirit helps us in our weakness, and boy do I feel weak at the moment, for we do not know how to pray. But that very Spirit prays with sighs too deep for words. I think that's what I need at the moment. And God, it says, who searches the heart, knows what is in the mind of the Spirit, because the Spirit prays for all of us according to the will of God. Maybe we need to know that at the moment, to hear that, to feel that whilst sorrow threatens to overwhelm our everyday lives, the Spirit knows this and will hold our wants and our needs and our sorrows before God in prayer when we can't even find the words. Whatever might be overwhelming you at the moment, know that the Spirit intercedes for you. Perhaps you could find a little time today just to be quiet, just to open your heart and your mind to the Spirit. You don't have to put it into words. The Spirit will do that before God. But just know that Jesus came to carry our sorrows before God by his Holy Spirit. Keep safe.